This is Steel of War. What follows is a documented index of United States ground vehicles and armored platforms deployed during the Afghanistan War, compiled for archival reference and historical continuity. Between 2001 and 2021, United States ground vehicles in Afghanistan supported counterinsurgency, security assistance, and sustained expeditionary operations. These platforms were employed by the U.S. Army, U.S. Marine Corps, U.S. Special Operations Forces, and supporting logistics units across mountainous, desert, and urban environments. M1A1 Abrams. Introduced in 1985 and manufactured by General Dynamics Land Systems, the M1A1 Abrams main battle tank was deployed in limited numbers to Afghanistan beginning in 2010. Its operational role centered on heavy fire support and base security rather than maneuver warfare. The vehicle mounted a 120mm M256 smoothbore gun, composite armor, and a gas turbine engine. Units primarily included U.S. Army armored brigades. Employment occurred mainly in southern Afghanistan, where terrain permitted heavy vehicle movement and logistical sustainment. M1A2 Abrams. An upgraded variant introduced in 1992, the M1A2 Abrams incorporated digital fire control systems and improved situational awareness. In Afghanistan, it fulfilled the same limited support role as the M1A1. Deployment emphasized deterrence and overwatch rather than armored breakthrough operations. Use was restricted to select Army units due to infrastructure and terrain constraints. M2A2 Bradley Infantry Fighting Vehicle. The M2A2 Bradley, produced by BAE Systems and introduced in the 1980s, provided mechanized infantry transport and fire support. Armed with a 25mm M242 Bushmaster cannon and TOW missiles, it was used sparingly in Afghanistan. Its role focused on protected mobility and convoy security in permissive terrain zones. M3A2 Bradley Cavalry Fighting Vehicle. Configured for reconnaissance, the M3A2 Bradley carried fewer dismounts and additional surveillance equipment. It supported U.S. Army cavalry units conducting route security and area reconnaissance operations where tracked mobility was viable. M113A3 Armored Personnel Carrier. Originally introduced in the 1960s and upgraded to the A3 standard by FMC, the M113A3 served in support roles, including command, medical evacuation, and logistics. Its aluminum armor and tracked mobility allowed operation on unimproved terrain, though protection levels were limited by modern threat standards. M1114 Up-Armored HMMWV. The M1114, produced by AM General, became a primary protected mobility platform in the early years of the conflict. Introduced in 2003, it featured bolt-on armor kits and was widely used for patrol, convoy escort, and command tasks by Army and Marine Corps units. M1151 Expanded Capacity Armored HMMWV. Entering service in 2006, the M1151 improved payload capacity and armor integration. It replaced earlier HMMWV variants in many units and supported sustained patrol operations across Afghanistan. M1152 Armament Carrier HMMWV. The M1152 variant supported weapon systems and crew-served arms. Its reinforced chassis allowed mounting of heavy weapons for convoy and base defense roles. M1165 Special Operations HMMWV. Designed for U.S. Special Operations Command, the M1165 featured enhanced mobility and mission-specific configurations. It was used by Army Special Forces and Naval Special Warfare units for long-range and direct action missions. RG-31 Nyala. Manufactured by BAE Systems and introduced to U.S. service in the mid-2000s, the RG-31 was an early mine-resistant, ambush-protected vehicle. Its V-shaped hull reduced blast effects from improvised explosive devices. It was widely used for route clearance and patrol missions. RG-33. The RG-33 provided increased protection and payload over earlier MRAPs. Introduced in 2007, it was used by Army and Marine Corps units for convoy security and urban patrols. RG-33L. The extended-length RG-33L supported route clearance teams by accommodating specialized equipment and additional personnel. M-ATV. The Oshkosh M-ATV entered service in 2009 to address Afghanistan's rugged terrain. Combining MRAP-level protection with off-road mobility, it became one of the most widely deployed armored vehicles in the later stages of the war. MaxxPro MRAP. Produced by Navistar Defense, the MaxxPro was deployed extensively from 2007 onward. It provided high blast protection and served in patrol, convoy escort, and base security roles. Cougar 4x4 MRAP. The Cougar 4x4, manufactured by Force Protection, supported patrol and security missions requiring high survivability in confined terrain. Cougar 6x6 MRAP. The 6x6 variant offered increased payload and troop capacity, commonly used by route clearance and engineer units. M1126. Stryker Infantry Carrier Vehicle. The Stryker ICV, introduced in 2002, provided wheeled armored mobility to infantry brigades. It was deployed to Afghanistan beginning in 2009, offering rapid deployment and networked command capabilities. M1128. Stryker Mobile Gun System. Armed with a 105mm gun, the M1128 supported direct fire missions. Its use in Afghanistan was limited due to terrain and maintenance demands. M1129. Stryker Mortar Carrier. This variant provided indirect fire support within Stryker formations, integrating 120mm mortar systems for responsive fires. M1130. Stryker Command Vehicle. Configured for command and control, the M1130 facilitated digital communications and coordination at battalion and brigade levels. M977 HEMTT. The heavy expanded mobility tactical truck, introduced in the 1980s by Oshkosh, supported the transport of fuel, ammunition, and logistics throughout the conflict. M1083 FMTV. The family of medium tactical vehicles formed the backbone of tactical logistics. Introduced in the 1990s, these trucks supported transport, maintenance, and sustainment missions across all U.S. branches in Afghanistan. You are listening to Steel of War. This program presents verified historical equipment records for reference and documentation. United States ground vehicles and armored platforms in the Afghanistan War reflected an adaptive balance between protection, mobility, and sustainment. From limited heavy armor deployment to widespread use of mine-resistant and wheeled systems, these vehicles supported U.S. forces across 2 decades of continuous operations under varied operational conditions.